Here is my post game, guys. A gut wrenching loss for the Cincinnati Bengals. They played their living tails off, man. Played a lot better than I thought they would, and I really thought this was going to be a close game, but did not think it would come down to like this. Obviously, wish the result was different. But tip your cap to the Kansas City Chiefs. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I'll get into all the controversy stuff and my opinions, but as far as the team itself, I mean, kudos to them. I mean, it's always a great game when the Bengals and Chiefs play. So let's get into it, man. So let's take away some positives. Let's start off with positives. Obviously, we want to start off nice, but Joe Burrow had 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Unfortunately, he did have a fumble return for a touchdown by KC. I thought he was down originally. Unfortunately, it was a live ball. When they were running back with it, I was like, well, I think it's going to come back. He was clearly down, but if you look, the ball actually came out on the right side. I think Chris Jones knocked it out. Mike Gesicki had a bad drop, but he had a crucial fourth down conversion. Yoshi Vashman, he had 2 touchdown catches in T. Higgins' absence. I mean, that's you got to tip your cap to him, man. He's obviously a very up and coming wide receiver, and Burrow obviously loves him, especially in the red zone. One of the best performances that I've ever seen in the first 2 years for a Bengals receiver. I mean, you can't deny, like, he's been coming on for a number 2, number 3. I mean, he's been playing like a number 2, a solid number 2. That's what I mean by best performances. Obviously, we have Jamar Chase on our team. There's been many different performances. We had AJ Green for so many years, but as far as like kind of coming on the scene, I thought he delivered well, especially with T's absence, man, with that hamstring. I don't know his status. I hope he's back by next Monday. We have 8 days. And then you look at Akeem Davis-Gaither. I mean, he had an interception. Cam Taylor-Britt had an amazing interception. I mean, Mahomes kind of threw it right to Gaither. He was trying to aim for Kelsey at the top. But Cam Taylor-Britt, man, that one-handed pick was something to behold. I mean, I wish that unfortunately, we went 3 and out after that. So it didn't really mean much. But, I mean, you tip your cap to him, man. He played good. He got burnt by Rashid Rice on that touchdown to tie the game at 10. But, against, I think it was, Xavier Worthy, he played really good. So, Trey Hendrickson, man, he had two sacks, and he basically gave the Chiefs offensive line all it could handle. I mean, he was giving it the business. I remember saying that Trey Hendrickson was kind of having a quiet game, and he just came out and balled. So a lot of positives to take away from this loss. I mean, a loss is a loss, and you guys know me. I hate moral victories, especially like given the expectations I have for this team, for this franchise. But unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's just early in the season. Third straight year of starting 0-2. We shot ourselves in the foot, man, but I'll get into, some of the negatives. I mean, defensive line, I mean, we are thin at defensive line. I mean, Sheldon Rankins got out, BJ Hill got a hamstring injury, and then the Casey Rush just all over us, man, and Mahomes didn't have a breakout game. I think he had a quarterback rating of 80, but, the Chiefs rushing, just like New England's, I mean, they took advantage of our, thin D-line. DeJohn Anthony, I mean, he had 2 bad penalties, but one of them was just, I mean, it led to the field goal, and that was just... That one hurt us, man. I mean, obviously. I mean, it was 4th and 16. I think that the refs, they missed that. I mean, look, it looked like a penalty, but that late in the game, I feel like you got to let them play, man. But, that's just always a story in Kansas City. That's nothing against the Chiefs, but it's just always a story. I mean, they always get the refs in their favor, it feels like. But Jamar Chase, I mean, he was held to 35 yards. He had a costly unsportsmanlike penalty. That's not going to help our team, man. And we gained 10 yards on that next play. If Chase costs us that, with that taunting penalty, I mean, maybe we get a first down and, score a touchdown. I don't know. But, we did get the field goal to go up. But unfortunately, it just didn't go in our way, man. It didn't go our way. And, that's the most frustrating part. I mean, look, we played our living tails off until the very end. I mean, we had some bad mistakes and blunders. I'll get into that. But, I'm proud of the team, honestly, for how tough they played the back-to-back defending Super Bowl champions. We can beat this team. I'm telling you. I don't even know if the Chiefs... I'll tell you, I don't even know if the Chiefs are a better team than the Bengals. I don't. I mean, I think the Chiefs are... Obviously, they deserve to be recognized as the best. I mean, they're the back-to-back champs. But this Bengals team, I mean, when they hit their stride, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they can really give the Chiefs a run for their money, man. But these really shot us in the foot. You can't really get away from that. I mean, you can talk about the penalties all you want, but at the end of the day, the players got helmets. The players, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot. So I'm not going to completely blame officiating, but I do want to get into that in a minute. But obviously the referees, like I said, they faced heavy criticism. The late hit penalty, or not late hit, sorry. It was not the late hit. I put a late hit, but it was the miscontact, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, but if you look at Twitter right now, it's trending. I'm not trying to be a excuse maker or anything, but it is trending. The officiating is very biased right now. It sucked. But like I said, we shot ourselves in the foot with the Burrow fumble, the poor use of timeouts by Zach Taylor. I mean, we used so many timeouts. We used one in the third. We used two in the fourth, like final minute, I think. Final 2 minutes. I mean, that didn't even give us a chance to, ice them, ice Harrison Butker or anything. He just came up and just drilled a 51-yarder for the win. So that's just not Bengals. That's not the Bengals that I want to see, man. We're now 1-11 in Zach Taylor's tenure in the first 2 games. That's not good, man. 1-9 in Burrow's. And that's just not a winning formula, man. Especially for like hosting a possible playoff game or 2 playoff games. I mean, 1 or 2 games can really change your season. Do I think this team has what it takes to make the playoffs? Of course. But if they start playing like this and shooting themselves in the foot, I mean, I just don't see us making a good run. So anyway, I mean, that's all I got to say about, the negatives as far as this point. But I got to tell you this, NFL, you need to be held accountable. This is ridiculous. Look at this footage. A Bengals player held by 2 Chiefs linemen. This would have offset the penalty on the PI downfield, and it would have offset, I'm just looking at this makes me pissed off. I mean, 4th and 16. Would have had to redo it. And who's to say what happens? Do they get it? I don't know. But this is just ridiculous. I mean, there's no accountability. Like I said, you guys need to be held accountable. I know you won't because Roger Goodell is a pussy. And, he says that officiating's never been better. I mean, maybe in your mind because you're a diehard Chiefs fan. The Chiefs and the Steelers are the 2 golden boys of the NFL. They get every call. The Steelers at least have calls that go against them, and they're infamous for having some calls go against them. The most the Chiefs have is an offensive offsides, which that was offsides last year against the Buffalo Bills. So the Steelers, I always say the Steelers and Chiefs are the golden boys. The Steelers at least have calls that go against them. They've had, I mean, you look at that Jesse James catch. When's the last time you can say that about the Chiefs where they cost them? Yeah, they're top 5 most penalized team. So what? What about, let's look at I don't know the stats on this, but what about the opponents that they have? What about the opponents that they play? How much are they penalized? People have selective measuring, I guess, if you're a Chiefs fan. But like I said, I'm not here to bash on the Chiefs. They beat us. It's always a great game, man, when they see. And I got nothing but respect for the Chiefs. And like I said, congrats all the Chiefs fans, all the Chiefs, fans out there. They got some good ones in the fan base. And all the Swifties, I know that you guys are supporting the Chiefs as well. So, very frustrating. We're 0-2. But like I said, respect to the Kansas City Chiefs. Hopefully we see you guys in January, and late January. Maybe a 3rd straight AFC championship out of the 4. But we're 0-2. We got a lot of work to do, man. We got the Commanders coming up in 8 days. So we got to get ready for that. And yeah, we'll just take it from there, man. We'll see what happens. I hope for a win. But right now it's a tough loss. So refs, go f*** yourself. That's all I can say. Good game to the Chiefs. Good game to the fans. Who dey as always, guys. I mean, the Bengals, they gave me a lot more hope for the season than they did last week. Last week I was very worried. This year it was, or this week rather, it was, I have a new faith in the team. So we'll see what they do with it. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed to be a playoff season or, a Super Bowl season. Of course not. But I have a little bit more faith in this offense and this team in general. So you guys take care, man. That's all I got for my week 2 post game. Frustrating loss, but we'll get them next time, hopefully. You guys take care. Who dey, as always. Bengals are 0-2. I'm upset.